In today's video, I'm going to walk you through the integration testing setup for my Spring Boot application. We are going to look at the setup using JUnit 5, and I'm going to show you how I have set up my integration testing using an in-memory H2 database. Have a look at running those tests, and then look at the Jacoco plugin to view my code coverage. So without any further delay, let's get started. I'm using JUnit 5 for my testing. At the time of creating this video, I have the JUnit Jupyter version as 5.7.2 and the Jacoco Maven plugin version is 0.8.7. Within my root POM under the dependency management section, I have included the JUnit dependency over here, and this is just specifying the version from the properties above. Similarly, under my plugin management section, I'm specifying the Jacoco plugin. One important thing to note over here is that Spring Boot will automatically include an older version of the JUnit as a transitive dependency. So what we have done here is added the JUnit artifact in exclusions so that we can use the newer version and exclude the older version. Once these changes are done, my root POM is all good and ready to go. Next up, in my module POM, I just include the JUnit dependency and also the Jacoco plugin dependency. With this, I am now ready to start creating my test methods and test classes. So if I go into my car info controller, which is my controller class, I can just right click on the class name and go to generate and select test. This will bring up the create test pop-up as shown here. And I can select my testing library. And in my case, I'll leave it as JUnit 5. You can specify your test class name and specify the destination package. And then you can choose the members for which you want to generate the test methods for. And in my case, I already have my test classes and all my test methods created. The purpose of this Spring Boot API is to provide a list of all the car makes and models. So I have all the methods that are available that fulfill that requirement. So for my testing, I wanted to run a set of integration tests that connect to an in-memory database in my test environment. Because I also wanted to test out my Spring JPA methods, as well as a method that I have created, which has a custom query associated with it. Now let's understand on how the testing has been set up. In my local development environment, I'm connecting to a SQL Server database, and these Spring properties provide that information. Note that I am loading the initial seed data from a file called data-msql.sql, which is present in the resources folder. For my testing, I'm overriding the original application.properties, and I have created a copy of application-test.properties under the test resources. And over here, you can see that my Spring JPA properties are bound to a in-memory H2 database. For my tests, I am seeding the initial test data using a data-h2.sql file, which is present under the resources folder under my tests. Within my data-h2.sql, I am inserting some test data, and my test methods can assert against this information to verify if my testing is successful or not. To wire up my test class, I'm adding the Spring Boot test annotation and also providing auto-configured test database because I'm using an in-memory database. I'm setting up my active profile as test and also providing the test property source location of my application test properties file. Let us now go ahead and run our tests. You will see that because I have specified the Spring Boot test property annotation, it will automatically wire the Spring Boot context. And you will also notice that it's connecting to the embedded H2 database for running my test cases. So I have seeded the initial test data using a SQL file present under my test resources. And I have also overridden the test properties so that I can use an embedded H2 database to run all my testing scenarios. The testing methods themselves need to have @test annotation. I can also provide a descriptive name for my test case using the display name annotation. Over here, I am making the actual call to my method that I want to test. And then I'm setting up my expected value. And then I'm just comparing to make sure that whatever I am expecting is actually what's being returned. In IntelliJ, I can also run my tests with coverage by clicking this icon up here. And this will show me all the tests that it has run and also show me the methods that are covered. I can also modify my run debug configuration for my JUnit tests to specify which code coverage runner to use. IntelliJ IDEA has its own code coverage runner, so I can either select that or I can select the Jacoco plugin that I installed. When I run my maven test command, it creates the jacoco.exec file present in the target folder. Now, this is because I have already added the Jacoco plugin within my pom.xml. This file stores the information about the code coverage. I can also run a maven command to generate the HTML report for my code coverage. All I need to do is just simply type mvn jacoco:report. And once this is done, it will create a site folder in my target folder. So if I go into my project and go into target, you will see that there is a site folder available over here. And then in there is a Jacoco folder. And in here you can see that there is an index.html file that I can open to view my code coverage. And this report will show you a list of all your packages and classes. And with this, you can understand how much code coverage you are having. So that's all that I wanted to cover for this video. And I hope you find this video useful. And thanks a lot for watching.